Hi there, welcome to yet another educative episode in the Photo Lounge. My name is Jonathan James from photoloungers.com. In today's episode, we look at 5 different perspectives on how to look at photography and filmmaking to create a successful creative business. Stay tuned. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do by clicking on the red subscribe button below. And as you do so, let us jump right into it. Most of us approach our creative skills, for example, photography and filmmaking, the wrong way. We focus on the wrong things, and therefore our skills do not feed us or sustain us. The question is, how do these successful photographers and filmmakers do it? How are they able to love what they do and still live a good life, provide for themselves and their families, and also run a successful business? That is what we are here to answer. So, how are we supposed to approach this industry and our passion? The first step is to ask yourself this question: are you doing it as a hobby or as a profession? If you do it as a hobby, it means that you have another place you are feeding from or getting money from, and so it is not that serious. You do it for fun. Now, this video might not be that helpful to you, but if you are a hobbyist in transition to make it a full profession, then this is the right video for you, and it will be so beneficial to watch this video up to the end. If you are doing it as a profession, then let us walk through the 5 things you should consider to become successful in this industry. Number 1 is the 80-20 rule. This rule really surprised me at first, but after years as a photographer, I came to understand what it meant and what it means. To be a successful filmmaker and photographer, you have to be 80% business oriented and 20% creative oriented. This does not mean that you don't grow your creative skills, not at all. However, focus on the weightier matter. Most of us focus on the skill and invest lots of time sharpening our skills, watching YouTube videos, buying courses, and collaborating with other creatives. The question here is, what will you sustain yourself with after you develop your skill? How will you upgrade your life, sometimes your equipment, your studio, and so on? Look at it this way. Having the best skill does not mean a successful business or a traffic of clients to your studio. Absolutely not. There are creatives who don't have a high level of skill, they are still growing, but have traffic of clients and bookings all through the month. What do they do differently? They have the selling and business skills. That's right. Now, with the income they get, they can buy courses, employ a skilled creative, buy better gear, and after all, they will always win in the industry. That is why you need to have a change of mind and heart when it comes to approaching photography. Remember, approach it as a business more than you approach it as a creative. Businesses will feed the creative, and that's the meaning of the 80-20 rule as a business or as a creative. Number 2, be less emotional. Now, I know this sounds funny, but let me explain. Most of us creatives love the craft so much that we would do anything for the shot or for a picture or for the video. When you are in a position where you don't consider anything else just so that you can take a picture or get that job, then you are acting emotionally. As a creative, you are supposed to come to a place where you think logically and like a business person or an entrepreneur. Let me give you an example. If you are contacted by a prospect or a client about a wedding gig, don't go overexcited about it. Think soberly. Think about the location of the wedding. What do the clients want? What will be the cost of production? Will I make any profit from the wedding? Your travel expenses together with your assistants who will take care of them, editing time after the wedding, delivering expenses. All these are things to consider. That way, you will learn how to price and approach such a gig, and you will make a better decision to either turn down or accept the assignment. Think logically, not emotionally. Number 3 is being strategic. We creatives are spontaneous and not strategic at all. What do I mean? We are always on the move behind our cameras. We rarely take time and plan, strategize, and so on and so forth. So let me give you an example. A while ago, we were having a talk with a good friend of mine whom I would call a business mentor. So he runs a successful business, and he asked me a question. Jonathan, it seems you travel a lot with these corporate companies, a whole week, a month, and you're not around. What happens to the jobs that you have when you are gone? They all stop because you are away, right? And I told him, right. So I had never had this that way. And so he continued, with your model of business, you can never scale because you are a one-man band. You need to have a model that will allow work in your office to continue as you work outside. Or you can work in 2 locations at the same time because you have the capacity in terms of resources, equipment, human resources, and etc. So I was challenged, and it got me thinking. I was too focused on the creative work and not how to scale a business. So I decided to sit down, think strategically, write down some plans so that I can have help to grow my business, my photography and film business. And I was glad I approached it that way. That is why we need to think strategically, both for business scaling, getting new clients, and revenue generation. Let's be strategic as we are creative. And before we get to number 4, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. It means a lot to us. So click on the red subscribe button below, click on the bell icon to get notifications every time we release a new video, and that is weekly. Number 4 is focus. And I know you have heard about focus numerous number of times, and I don't want to bore you with another lecture about focus. However, I would like to take a different approach. It is my opinion that it is all right to do many things at first to find out what you love and what you are good at. You can do weddings, portraits, commercials, advertising, all the available genres which you can access. Please do them. However, you will have to put in mind that the earlier you specialize and focus, the better for you and your business, and it will help you grow better and even faster. Look at it this way. If you are a wedding and advertising photographer, your target audience and clients are extremely different. How will you build a website that focuses on 2 different kinds of clients? You will be confusing them. So as a client, I can't hire a wedding photographer to photograph an advertising campaign for me. That's extremely not possible. So when advertising, how will you be able to target a wedding client and advertising client at the same time? That's how difficult it is for you to lack focus as a photographer. Also, when buying gear, these 2 genres of photography need different kinds of equipment. How will you able to maintain such a business where you have to buy 2 sets of equipment, one set for wedding gigs and another one for advertisement gigs? That is why focus, after all, is important to think about as you grow your creative business. It's not a lecture about talking about focus, but is a point to consider because it will seriously shape your creative career. So make sure that even as you do all other forms of other genres of photography, think about your focus genre and also plan to grow in that genre so that you can be the expert that the industry needs. Number 5 is that you need to keep learning. It is said that learning is infinity. It never ends. Always keep sharpening your skills each and every day. In this era of the internet, there are a lot of free resources starting from the great YouTube University. There are many channels similar to this one that will allow you to get a lot of information, education, and resources that will help you grow as a creative. However, I would like you to take a different approach when looking for resources on YouTube that are free. Instead of scrolling pages and pages of YouTube, looking for the right videos to watch and subscribe to 10 channels that you have tested and learned from, that you know give you great value as a creative. Let me give you an example. I, as a photographer, I have channels that I always go to for educational content. For example, as a photographer, I have subscribed to SLR Lounge, F Stoppers, Adorama, Art of Photography, and others. Those are just examples. As a filmmaker, I also go to specific channels. For example, Indie Mogul, Mati Hapoya, Paka Walbeck, Film Riot, and so on and so forth. What I have done, I have subscribed to channels that I know will always give me the educational content that I need for my specific work in photography or filmmaking. So it saves me a lot of time. Finally, if you can buy a course, invest in one. It will push you to becoming a better creative since you have paid a price for it. So those are my 5 ways you need to approach your photography and filmmaking craft or business. If you have more points or more opinions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. So follow us also on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All the links are in the description below because these conversations continue on our social media channels. Thank you for watching, and remember, learn, practice, and create. And if you have any other further questions, please let us know. Peace.